Hey there, welcome to Time to Be Well. I'm Kathy Berry, registered dietitian with the Fountain of Health. On today's show, we'll be preparing two dishes which I'm really excited about. One is a zoodle dish with shrimp scampi. The other one is a vegetarian option of fried rice. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll get busy. Welcome back. All right, today we're going to be making a Zoodles shrimp scampi dish, which I am super pumped about. If you've never had Zoodles before, Zoodles are zucchini. And I wouldn't tell you that they're going to taste exactly like pasta, but they take sauce really well, and it is a huge savings of calories. 1 cup of pasta has about 220 calories. 1 cup of zucchini noodles or Zoodles have 20 calories. So it is a huge saving of calories, and it also gives you a lot more vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber. So I would just really give these a try. I think you're going to really like them. So what we'll do is we'll just start with a little oil in our nice skillet. We've got a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to get that hot. And then I've prepared these Zoodles over here, and I just love these things. This is called a veggetti, but I call it a zoodler, and it's very fun to use. I think your kids will really like it, and it's really, really simple and quick. So we're gonna just take these Zoodles and we're gonna put them right in our skillet. And you don't wanna cook these too much. You just kind of wanna stir fry them around a little bit because we don't want them to get soggy. There's a lot of moisture in that vegetable. So we're just gonna kind of stir fry them around a little bit, heat them up, maybe get a little color on them, but we don't want them to turn to mush. I would also season them up a little bit because, you know, zucchini's kind of mild. So the thing that's really great about this dish is we're gonna add a lot of flavor to it. So even though it's a mild vegetable, we'll make it really tasty. And that's the whole secret about vegetables. This is just some tasty little salt. That's the whole secret about vegetables, is you have to make them taste good. If you just throw some zucchini in the steamer and cook it up and put it on your plate, it is a big fat snore. But if you jazz it up with a lot of seasonings and garlic and pepper and good things, you can make it taste good. And that is my promise to you. I will not tell you to come into my kitchen and prepare something that is just healthy. I'm just not any old dietitian. I'm a dietitian with a really good taster. So everything that we prepare here is gonna taste good. That's my promise. And I understand that it's hard to get kids to eat vegetables, but these are just some ways that you can incorporate more vegetables into your diet and really grow a healthy palate, because that is the secret to health. That's one of the secrets to health, is to grow a healthy palate. A palate that can appreciate vegetables and herbs and flavors and a wide variety of foods. And this is an example of that. So we're gonna just flip this around, give it a little heat, give it a little saute. The other thing that I'll say about this dish is, my friend Janine was telling me about this. If you didn't want to use all Zoodles in your pasta dish, you could just whip up some of this, cook your regular pasta for your family, and mix the two together. And then your children get some regular pasta. And I wouldn't tell you that this is going to taste exactly like regular pasta, but it is a nice little segue of being able to mix the two together. So as you can see, this is kind of reduced a little. I want them to be hot, so I'm going to just pop them right in my little dish here. Those are very pretty. I'm going to put this back on the stove, on the heat, add a little bit more oil. I'm going to cover this with some foil because I want it to hold its heat. We'll just kind of push that back a tiny bit. We're gonna give that olive oil a shimmy and a shake, and then we'll add, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. I really like garlic. Garlic is really good for you. It's really good for your heart. We're gonna add some onion. This is just about 1 small onion. Gonna whip that around. We're gonna add the juice of half a lemon. This kind of gives a little brightness. And we'll add some chicken broth. And then that's gonna reduce. We're gonna turn that up, let it sizzle around, and reduce a little bit. Season it with some pepper and salt. A little bit more sassy salt. This particular salt I got in Florida, it has some citrus in it. So that's kind of nice with the shrimp. And then we're gonna add these tomatoes. We've got about 2 cups of cherry tomatoes there. And we're gonna kind of let those tomatoes pop a little bit, kind of reduce a little bit, wilt a little bit, blister a little bit, however you want to think about it. And then we're gonna add the shrimp at the very end. Now the shrimp is already cooked. I want to tell you, I went to Aldi and I got all of these ingredients for these 2 meals, the cauliflower fried rice and the shrimp scampi with the zoodle dish. These are easily enough to feed 4 people at your dinner table, and the bill was between $26 and $30. I think that's a great deal. So don't be afraid to go to your Aldi store and find some great bargains. And once again, this replacement of pasta, that pasta, 1 cup of pasta is 220 calories. 1 cup of zoodles is about 20 calories. So that's a huge savings. This whole dish, this dish of zoodles with the shrimp and this nice scampi kind of thing we've got going on here with the Parmesan on top, it's 235 calories per serving. That's a nice big healthy serving of an entree for really limited amount of calories. And 200 calories savings a day is the difference between weight loss and weight gain. And everybody that I know wants to be healthy, wants to manage their weight. So this is just a really simple way to do that for yourself and for your family. And it's also really tasty. So let's dump in the shrimp. We've got about 1 pound of small frozen shrimp, and once again, they've already been cooked. I've thawed them out, but I don't want to get them overcooked or rubbery. That's no good. Whoops, we got a stray tomato. Doesn't that look nice? All right. Now, I'm gonna add a little sriracha just because I like a little bang and a little pow. So this is just a little heat. You can add whatever you like. I would add sriracha, but you don't necessarily have to have it. You can also add red pepper flakes if that's your fancy. But I just think it gives it a little something. All right, now you can see that that's nicely reduced. The tomatoes are popped, the shrimp aren't overcooked. We're just gonna take this and we're gonna pour it right on top of those zoodles. Just like that. Turn that off. We're gonna jazz this up a little bit, make it pretty. I'm gonna put some Parmesan on top. You could put fresh herbs on it if you wanted to, but it is just dandy the way that it is. And there we go. That took all of, what, 5-7 minutes? And it is a wonderful, healthy, delicious, fresh option for your family at 235 calories per pop. That is definitely enough for 4 people, and it also is a huge savings. So enjoy. When we come back, we'll get busy with the cauliflower rice.
Grandpa, would you take me to the library?
Okay, we're headed over to that gallery in the crossroads.
Next stop, Power and Light. Thank you for riding Casey Streetcar.
Hi, and welcome back. Well, I hope you enjoyed those zoodles. This next dish that we're gonna make is a cauliflower rice, fried rice style dish that is vegetarian-ish. We're gonna start by putting a little sesame oil. This is toasted sesame oil. I really like this for Asian dishes simply because it gives a lot of flavor and it's just rich. And since the dish is really light, it kind of gives it some depth. So we're gonna use this nice toasted sesame oil. And so we'll get that nice and hot. And to that, we're gonna scramble up a couple eggs. And this is the vegetarian-ish part. It's not completely vegetarian, but eggs are part of what makes fried rice really nice. So we're gonna scramble up a couple of those, put them right in this dish. This little pan, and scramble them up. Scramble them up really, really quickly. Now, one of the things that I think is really important about a good fried rice or a good stir fry of any kind is that you have to work quickly, and you also have to work in batches. I have been watching people prepare stir fries and fried rice online, and sometimes I see them pour everything in the same pot, and then they stir it around, and they've got all the vegetables, and they've got frozen stuff, and they've got all this stuff in there, and they're slurrying it around, and to me it just looks like a big mush pot. So I like to cook things in batches, and in that way everything gets done at the appropriate time, and it keeps its texture, it keeps its flavor, and it doesn't turn to this big mush. And that's not what you want in a stir fry. You want it to be nice and tender, crisp and flavorful. So that's our goal here. So now what we've got going on is a little bit of ginger and a little bit of garlic. And we want to get a nice toast on that. Just flip it around a tiny bit, but we don't want to burn it because you know garlic can burn really quickly. So just kind of saute that a little bit, whip that around, and we're gonna pop it in our serving dish. So this is still a one-pot dish. We're still using only one pot, and we're only gonna use one serving dish, but we're just gonna cook it in batches. I think that's really important for this. And then we're gonna add our, we've got some nice peas and carrots. We're gonna let them go a little bit. Now these are fresh carrots, so they're gonna take a couple of minutes. So while they're cooking, I wanna talk to you about a couple of things. First of all, we are using something that is called riced cauliflower. Riced cauliflower is cauliflower that has just been put in a food processor. You can easily do it at home. Like I use the Zoodler. You can also purchase those Zoodles ready-made. This is a ready-made riced cauliflower. And this is a really nice substitute for rice. 1 cup of rice has about 200 calories. That's a lot of calories. 1 cup of cauliflower rice has 23 calories. So 200 calories, 23 calories. That's a really nice swap when you're trying to reduce calories and get more nutrition into your diet and stay full and satisfied and not be starving all day long. So this is a really nice dish for that. Now the other reason that I like this cauliflower rice in this particular dish is, let's be honest, cauliflower has a big, strong flavor. It is a cruciferous vegetable. It smells sulfury. Some people might even say that it's stinky. I personally don't think that it's stinky, but it does have a strong flavor and it does have a really strong aroma. So when you add ginger and garlic and soy and sriracha and vegetables and some really nice spice, you're gonna calm that down. And then you'll also be able to introduce that to your family and they're gonna say, oh, I really like this. This is really good. I'm not really telling the difference between this cauliflower rice and regular rice. And even if you use half rice and half of the cauliflower rice, that's a really good swap too. So don't be afraid to try something like this. You can get this one was purchased at Sprouts, but you can get it anywhere. You can get it at Hy-Vee, you can get it at Hen House, you can get it at Price Chopper. I did not see it at Aldi, but you can also prepare it yourself. So really nice little convenience item that beefs up the nutrition in your house. So the peas and carrots are done. While they're done, I want to add a little bit of this nice 5-spice. I really like this. This is just a Chinese, 5-spice, and it's really, really good. And it kind of has a little sweet and a little heat, and I like that. Because we don't want this to be too bland. So we'll just give that a shake. Add a little bit of that in there. You don't have to, I just like it. Because I like the flavor. The flavor is what makes things taste good. So now our peas and carrots are good. In they go. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this sesame oil. Not much. Just a little. And we'll give our edamame, this is our protein, this is soy, these are soybeans. We're gonna give those a shake. You don't have to cook these much at all. I eat them raw all the time on a salad. They're fantastic. Really good source of fiber and protein. Really good. So we'll just give those a flip. Get them seasoned up with add a little salt, add a little pepper. And while we're doing that, we'll pop those in the bowl. And as you see, again, we're putting this all in the same bowl. It's a 1-pot dish. This whole dish will have less than 300 calories per serving, which is huge when you consider like regular fried rice would have close to 700 calories per serving. That's a lot of calories. I don't need that many calories. So in goes the cauliflower rice. Now, the trick to this is cauliflower can turn mushy. We don't want our rice to be mushy. So you want to cook this very, very quickly and just kind of give it a little heat. Let it take on some flavor. Get it warm, maybe caramelized a little bit. And then we're gonna add all these things back in. We're gonna add some soy, we're gonna add some sriracha, and it's gonna be a really pretty dish and a really beautiful dish. So this is, when you think about, I don't have time to make dinner, if you have some things like this on hand, you can whip up a really nice dinner in 10 minutes. The other thing that you could do with this, you could add leftover chicken. You could add leftover pork tenderloin from the grill. You could add shrimp that we used in our zoodle dish. There's lots of things that you could add to this. You could add asparagus. You can add peppers, more vegetables if you like. This is just kind of a basic dish, but it sort of gives you the idea of how easy this is to prepare. And it's a funny thing. People will say to me, Well, why would I want to cut rice out of my diet? Rice is really good for you. Think of all the Asian culture. They eat rice every day and they're not overweight. Why would I want to cut rice out of my diet? And I understand that. But the truth of the matter is, the Asian culture people are not eating the Z-Man sandwich from Kansas City Joe's or the wonderful burn ends at Q39 or all those big, beautiful steaks that we love here in Kansas City. So it's not really apples and oranges when we're talking, you know, it's a little different for us. So we need to cut back on things that we can make a change that will, you know, be better for our health overall. And white refined carbohydrate really doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities for us, but vegetables do. So as you can see, this is getting nice and, you know, it's getting hot, it's sizzling, it's cooking, it's getting fragrant. And so at this point, I'm going to add, I've got some Bragg's Amino, but you could also use about 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce. So we're just going to pour that in. We're going to stir that around. It's going to be fantastic. And then I'm going to take this my whole bowl here of the eggs and the edamame and the peas and the carrots. We're going to just throw those all in there. And see, that scrambled egg is really kind of nice. I really like that in there. But you don't have to add that. If you're you know, if you want to be a strict vegetarian, vegan, you can absolutely leave that out. I just think that it's really nice. It gives it a little body. It gives it a little, I don't know, a little richness. And I think eggs are actually really good for us. It's a really good source of protein and so easy to prepare and so versatile. And because I like it, I'm going to add a little bit of heat. This is just your basic sriracha. I'm not going to go crazy. I just want to, you know, give it a little something extra. And there we go. And as you can see, you know, that didn't take very much time, but we certainly don't want to overcook this because then the cauliflower is going to get mushy and we don't want mushy cauliflower. All right, that was one speedy dish. And I'm just going to add a little garnish of green onion for color and for flavor. That is a really simple fried rice dish that uses cauliflower instead of white rice, and you reduce your calories by about 500 calories per serving, which is awesome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking care of your health with better eating and better nutrition. And I'm Kathy Berry, registered dietitian with the Fountain of Health, and we'll see you next time. You can find all of these recipes and many more on kcmo.gov and just search for Time to Be Well.